You've diligently held onto your Bitcoin, perhaps for years, weathering market storms and believing in its long-term potential. But imagine waking up one morning to find that your carefully guarded digital stash untouched. Yes, but now legally under the custody of the state of California. This isn't a dystopian fantasy from a sci-fi movie. It's a scenario that's dangerously close to becoming a reality for crypto holders in California. Under Assembly Bill 1052, which just passed the California State Assembly, with unanimous support in June 2025, and is now being reviewed by the Senate. Any cryptocurrency left inactive in a custodial account for just 3 years could be officially labeled unclaimed property and transferred directly to state control. Is this an alarming case of government overreach, stripping citizens of their digital sovereignty? Or is it a necessary, modern update to outdated property laws in a rapidly evolving digital world? We're diving deep into the far-reaching implications of this controversial proposal to show you exactly how it could impact your crypto wealth. 1. California's bold move. Targeting dormant digital gold, California lawmakers have made a bold and swift move to modernize their unclaimed property laws, advancing of 1052. The bill passed the California State Assembly with an overwhelming 78-0 vote in June 2025, demonstrating strong bipartisan support, and has since moved to the Senate for further review and potential amendments. Introduced by Democratic Assemblymember Avelino Valencia, the bill aims to bring digital assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum under the same regulatory umbrella as long-forgotten bank accounts, uncashed paychecks, or even old tax refunds that currently revert to the state, if enacted. This groundbreaking legislation would require crypto holders to actively engage with their custodial exchange accounts at least once every 3 years. Failing to do so could result in their digital assets being classified as unclaimed property and subsequently transferred to the state's custody. This is California's way of extending its existing framework for abandoned assets into the digital frontier. But it raises immediate questions about what happens next. To dot the catch, can you actually get your seized crypto back? This is the crucial question on every crypto owner's mind. If the state of California takes custody of your digital assets, are they simply liquidated or lost forever? The good news, and a significant point of clarification in the bill's later versions, is that the legislation includes important safeguards for crypto holders. Crucially, any digital assets seized by the state will remain in their native cryptocurrency form. They will not be automatically converted to fiat currency, protecting them from potential market fluctuations that could devalue them upon forced conversion. To manage these digital holdings, the state will appoint a designated, qualified custodian to securely hold the digital assets on behalf of California, ensuring their safekeeping in a specialized environment. Furthermore, original owners retain the unequivocal right to reclaim their cryptocurrencies at any point in time. The process would require owners to provide proper identification to recover their assets from the state's designated custodian, offering a pathway to retrieve what's rightfully theirs, even years down the line. 3. The game changer, the self-custody exemption. While the notion of a State seizing crypto assets sends shivers down the spines of many in the decentralized world. One pivotal change in the final version of OB 1050 dramatically altered its scope and softened some of the loudest criticisms. Early drafts of the bill contained broader provisions that could have impacted self-custody wallets, meaning crypto held directly by individuals, where they control their own private keys, such as on hardware wallets or desktop software. However, these concerning sections were ultimately removed during the legislative process. This pivotal change means that users who store their crypto in cold wallets or personal hardware devices remain entirely unaffected by this law. The legislation now exclusively targets assets held by third-party custodial platforms and centralized exchanges, entities that manage funds on behalf of others, much like traditional banks. This exemption reinforces the core value proposition of self-custody in the crypto space, highlighting how holding your own private keys remains the ultimate method of preserving your financial autonomy from potential government oversight or seizure. 4. The battle lines, privacy versus state policy of 1052 has ignited a fierce debate within the crypto industry, sparking sharply divided opinions over its intent and potential impact. Supporters argue that the bill establishes a reasonable and necessary framework for managing truly abandoned digital assets, noting that the state plans to preserve the seized cryptocurrencies in their original form rather than immediately converting them to cash. This measure, they contend, ensures that rightful owners can reclaim their assets at full value, even after many years. Critics, however, view the legislation as a deeply troubling example of government overreach. Privacy advocates and staunch crypto purists argue that the bill fundamentally undermines the principles of decentralization and self-sovereignty that are core to the entire crypto movement. Concerns have been raised particularly about the bill's 3-year inactivity threshold, with many warning that it could unfairly impact legitimate long-term holders, like early Bitcoin adopters who might choose not to access their funds for extended periods, sometimes a decade or more. Despite these strong objections, the bill's exemption for self-custody wallets has, for some, earned a measure of cautious approval, validating the "not your keys, not your crypto" mantra. 5. What's next for OB 1052? The road ahead. After stirring both praise and considerable concern across the crypto industry, AB 1052 is continuing its journey through the California legislative process. Following its unanimous 78-0 approval in the California State Assembly in June 2025, the bill is now under active review in the California Senate. Lawmakers there may still propose further amendments before it proceeds to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for potential signing into law. If passed and officially signed by the governor, the bill is expected to take effect after July 1, 2026, with specific timelines tied to licensing requirements for digital asset firms and the state's official authority to classify dormant crypto as unclaimed property. Until then, the debate over digital asset rights, regulatory boundaries, and the best practices for long-term crypto storage is likely to intensify, not just in California, but potentially inspiring Similar legislative efforts across other states and jurisdictions. Will your dormant crypto be safe? Only time and California's final decision will tell.